Good evening and welcome to the City Council meeting of the City of Lenoir for Tuesday, February the 18th, 2020. We welcome you here this evening, and as we normally do, in just a minute we will rise please for a moment of silence, and please remain standing for our Pledge of Allegiance. As we go to our moment of silence, we would like for you to keep several things in your thoughts and prayers. Certainly the little 6-year-old young lady who was found dead in Casey, South Carolina. Very sad about that. Please keep her family in your thoughts and prayers on the terrible tragedy there. Also this week we had a scare that came through our school system and things that, some threats and things. Thank goodness it was not something that hopefully was going to be taking place, but we went through precautions, and I know a lot of things were done to make sure that that didn't run down. So please always keep our school system in your thoughts and prayers, our officers and fire, everyone who helps and makes those right. And then certainly our race car driver Ryan Newman, who was injured at the Daytona 500. That was a terrible crash, and so certainly we hope that he will continue to get better for that. So anyway, keep all those things and many other things in your thoughts and prayers as we go to this time of prayer. Please rise. Thank you. Salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get started with our agenda tonight, I would like to say congratulations to Council Member, Right Reverend Ike Perkins. He was awarded the special award at Martin Luther King breakfast, the NAACP award, I think it was. So we're glad that you're able to be with us and be a part of it. There you go. Yeah.
Am I going somewhere?
Anyway, congratulations on that award and being honored. I know you do a lot in not only your community but all over. So thank you for your service to that. All right, as we get started tonight, there are no matters scheduled for public hearing this evening, so we'll move to our consent agenda items, which consist of minutes of the City Council meeting of Tuesday, February 4th, 2020. Our minutes of the closed session minutes of the City Council meeting of Tuesday, February 4th, 2020, and approval of the closed minutes of the Tuesday, September 24th, 2019 meeting as reviewed by the City Attorney, the City Council, and the City Manager. The item C is an amendment. Number 1, this is an engineering services contract. Recommendation approval of this amendment to the engineering services contract with McGill Associates for the Crossroads Sewer Replacement Project. The amendment to the scope of the agreement results in increases in the planning, surveying, design line item by $21,000 and the construction phase services for the Linkside Sewer by $16,000. So these are the items for the consent agenda item. Open it up for any council discussion, or if you have any questions about that.
Mr. Mayor, I have a question on the engineering contract.
Okay.
Are we going to be rerouting some of the wastewater?
Yes.
And will we abandon the lines that were there before?
We're abandoning, Ralph, you want to answer that?
Yeah.
Yes. What we did, we realized
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go.
We realized that we're working in an area where you have an 8-inch clay sewer line that comes right through the middle of Smith Crossroads. So we approached the state to see if we could add replacing that line to the scope of a project that had already been approved to go from behind what's now Yokefellow towards the golf course.
Right.
So what we're doing, we'll abandon the line under the crossroads, which at some point, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the road, probably gonna happen anyway. We're able to turn it and go east on Wilkesboro Road to a manhole and then turn it towards Viridian Apartments on Linkside.
Okay.
It also eliminates a line that crosses from that point over to Lower Creek Drive. So we're actually able to take 2 segments of sewer line out from under the highway, older sewer line, by doing this. There were only 2 customers on that line, the car wash and the Broyhill house. And we're able to reroute both of them without any problem during the course of the project.
Okay.
Thank you for that.
That's about as fast as I can talk. Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, hearing that explanation, I would make a motion that items A, B, and C of the consent agenda be approved as presented.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilmember Stevens to approve items A, B, and C on the consent agenda as presented. No other discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Carries unanimously. Okay, we'll move on then to requests and petitions of any citizens. If there's anyone who would like to address the council, this is the time to do so. I think most everyone here, our staff, do stop it. So we appreciate that. So seeing no one, we'll move on then to, we do not have any reports of the boards and commissions this evening, but we do have our plan administrator from the Western Piedmont Council of Governments, Mr. Rick Oxford, is with us. This is the first of 2 public meetings to receive comments regarding the proposed FY 2020 action plan of the City of Lenoir and FY 2020 through 2024 Unifor Home Consortium as part of the 5-year consolidated plan. This plan, as required by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, outlines goals and actions of the City of Lenoir and the Unifor Home Consortium and its use of Community Development Block Grant funding and home funds for fiscal year 2020, beginning July 1st, 2020, and ending July 30th, 2021. The City of Lenoir, as you know, serves as the lead entity for the Unifor Consortium. Rick, welcome. Glad to have you.
Yes.
Hi. Well, you always say everything I was gonna say, so I have to sort of start in the middle. This is the
Just trying to help
first,
you out.
yeah, this is the first of 2 required meetings. This meeting is purpose is to take public input into the development of a 5-year consolidated plan. A consolidated plan includes housing needs assessment, which identify housing problems. And our consolidated plan is sort of we do one for the city, and it also encompasses the 4 counties as a whole. Because it addresses the City of Lenoir and the City of Lenoir as lead entity of the Unifor Consortium. So it identify housing needs, housing problems. It does a housing market analysis, and then it comes up with a strategic plan. This is our game plan for 5 years. And within that plan, it sets priorities and goals to address the problems that were identified. Of course, we try to make a big umbrella identifying a lot of things, and then each year you have to do an action plan, and you say, well, we're gonna do something that was identified under that big, large umbrella, and of course, we can't do it all, but we try to make the consolidated plan so broad that anything that you guys or the consortium board comes up with, hopefully, we can do it. So, we set priorities and goals, and then we do the first year action plan, which describes expected resources. It identifies the goals and objectives, and it identifies projects to achieve those objectives, and it budgets dollars. And the consolidated plan and action plan addresses the two programs. The first is the Community Development Block Grant Program, and the City of Lenore's CDBG program will receive approximately $135,877 in 2020. That's based on what you received in 2019, because we don't know the exact numbers yet, okay? So the city has indicated that it will spend those CDBG funds toward repairs and renovations at the old Lenore High School gym and auditorium. Any questions about that?
Any questions? Concerning that?
Okay, so as the mayor said, the city of Lenore serves as the lead entity for the Unifor Consortium Home Program, which was formed in 1996 by bringing all 28 local governments located in the 4 counties together. Those 4 counties are Alexander, Burke, Caldwell, and Catawba County. And as the lead entity, the city of Lenore ensures compliance with HUD rules and regulations. All funding from HUD flows through the city of Lenore, and the city manager serves as chairman of our boards. We have an executive board and a governing board. The home program will receive, based on 2019 funds, approximately $1.1 million. And the home program provides funding for a down payment assistance program for low to moderate income first-time homebuyers. In the past, we've provided $5,000 that can be used as first-time homebuyers down payment and or closing cost. HUD is making us revamp that, and they're wanting it to be, they don't like the same amount every time, so they're wanting it to be more need-based. So we're in the process of redesigning that program. The consortium can fund or make loans to community housing development organizations, which are nonprofit organizations. It can also provide financial loans toward low-income housing tax credit, multifamily housing developments, big apartment complexes that are for low to moderate income families. And it can be used for new construction for low to moderate income housing. The public can contact me with input to the consolidated plan up to March the 20th. And at the next public meeting, we will have received the exact dollar amount for funding, and I will present the consolidated plan and action plan for adoption.
Okay. Any questions, Rick, concerning?
It's about springtime, isn't
It's about spring. Like I said, nothing says spring.
Not
like
quite,
Christmas.
not quite. It's a little rainy and dark out there.
Next time you see us, it'll be warm.
It will be, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much, Rick. Appreciate you being here as always. Okay, we'll move on then to report and recommendations of the city manager, Mr. Hilbert.
Mayor, council, a couple items for your information this evening. The city council will be holding their annual strategic planning retreat on Friday, February 21st. September's those minutes. You got me on that. February 21st, 8:30 a.m., and that'll be at Blue Ridge Energy's community room at the district office at 100 Cooperative Way. The planning board will meet on Monday, February 24th, 5:30 p.m. in the chambers here. The committee of the whole will meet on Tuesday, February 25th, 8:30 a.m. at 3rd floor City Hall. That will also be a joint meeting with the ABC board at that time as well to receive their annual audit. The Foothills Regional Airport Authority will meet on Wednesday, February 26th at noon at the airport. And we have one item tonight for your action that this afternoon, I received a call from the Caldwell EDC. They have a building reuse application for Project Trilogy. This project is a local company in Lenore, manufacturing facility, that proposes to spend $400,000 in building improvements to go back, and expects to create 40 full-time jobs with an average pay of $39,750. The reason it's on tonight is the deadline is the 27th next week, and there are only 6 application periods a year, and so they're kind of under the gun to go back and get an application in. You can't start work till you get approved, so if you start beforehand, you don't get any funds. So they would ask us tonight to go back and adopt this authorizing resolution for them to make the application. And again, Project Trilogy.
All right, you've heard the recommendation of the authorizing resolution for Project Trilogy as presented by the EDC to us. Any discussion or questions or anything about that?
And the 5% match will be, the county will consider that at their meeting in March.
Right, because this is tied to the building reuse.
Correct.
Right.
I make a motion we approve as presented.
Okay, we have a motion from Councilmember Willis to approve the recommendation for the authorizing the resolution as presented for Project Trilogy. No other discussion. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Anything else? Any report or recommendations for our city attorney?
No.
Okay, sir. I do have a couple of board reappointments we discussed in our last meeting. I would like to recommend the following to continue serving on our boards, authorities, and commissions. For the Lenore Business Advisory Board, Teresa Almquist. For the Lenore Tourism Development Authority, Angela Johnson. For the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, Eric Rabinowitz. And for the Planning Board, Mac Martin. These have all been serving, have all done a great job on these boards, and would like to continue their service. I would recommend these to you at this time. We'll have some other recommendations in the near future. We do have a couple open seats that we'll be working on, and we have received some applications, and we'll be looking at those and working toward that, but we'll bring those to you.
Do it all in the motion. I'll make a motion to approve those based on the recommendation of the mayor.
Okay, we have a motion to approve the 4 recommendations as presented for reappointments to these boards from Councilmember Perdue. Any other discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Okay, any report from any of our council members? Anybody have anything to bring up? We do have a meeting after this at the 1831 for Main Street. We have some kind of a thank you time for all their hard work and things, and honor them. And we also have, hopefully have some, couple, maybe a special announcement coming up at this meeting. True? Good. We'll handle that there. So anyway, hope you can go over across the street for that when we leave here. Anything else to come before us tonight? If not, we stand adjourned.